Good morning. Today I'm going to start on my Easter journal that I'm making as part of not really a swap, it's more of a challenge between myself and Wanda Ford, because I sent her an identical signature. I had these signatures made up, and I think I made 3 of them up at the time of this Easter bunny and some pastel papers, plain paper, roses, mauve, multicolored printable, plaid, floral. That one, the words are upside down, so I'm going to flip that around. Another plain page, and I think this page is actually, it's kind of got a weird feel to it. I think it's for mixing watercolors on or something. That's a piece of cardstock. Actually, I might use that. I'll leave that in there. Daisies. Some numbered pages. Some pansies, another multicolored printable. Trying to decide if it has an up and down. It doesn't really matter. Well, those flowers are upside down. I better turn them over. And then a little map. It's not a very pretty map. I might switch that out for a different map. Although it's got Ontario and Nova Scotia. I think that's why I left that in there. And then the brown parchment paper is the representation for chocolate for Easter. And then I just like those gears and some icing piping instructions. And then a doily in the center, which is kind of my signature that I always do. And then, I'll do the wrong way. I took out the tickets or the receipts. There was a receipt page in there as well, which has all 3 colors. I was thinking I might use these for making some tags instead of putting them in the signature. So I left those out. So that's my signature. Actually, I have another one, but I don't know if I'm going to make 2 of these journals or not. But I would like to get this started. So I think what I'm going to do is make it a paper bag journal, because I just love doing them. I think this is too big. This is a bit big. Some of this I have sizes. Oh, I know. My husband got me paper bags for Christmas. So let's do a pink journal. And I think this will work. I might have to cut some pages down. Or add to the journal, add to the cover. So generally when I do a paper bag journal, it's this size, with or without the handles, just depending on what kind of a closure I can figure out. But that is too big for this. So I either have to cut this down, which is doable, or what I was thinking was, I've got these paper plates that I got matching napkins with. And I was thinking that I could use this paper plate to make the cover bigger. Have the deer poking up. So I need to flatten it, which is doable, I think. Maybe just cut the gears off. I'm at a white spot here. I'm going to just cut around that edge where it starts to fold. Giving me a fairly good circle. Not perfect, but pretty good. And then I can still use these edges. They'll be easier to flatten now that they're not attached to the plate. And then I generally use this as a tuck spot, although it's kind of going the wrong direction. I could bend this back the other way. I don't usually do that. Let's do that this time. Let's get my bone folder and really crease that. Crease the heck out of it. And that way, when I glue that down, it's going to give me a spot that's more accessible as a tuck spot. And then I can put something on there. So what will be my front? This will be my front. So let's glue that flap down. And then I think what I want to do is a little bit of napkin play right off the bat. Onto this. Let me just clamp those for a minute or two, because they're not sticking very well. And then what I could do is napkin this whole thing. No, I don't want to cover over this opening, do I? Because that's my tuck spot. And all my Eastery things. I've got some really pretty napkins with Easter in mind, and also these paper bags, paper treat bags, which I do have to work some of these in for sure. Maybe into the signature even. Because they're the right size to be included in the signature. Maybe I can fold them over. I can also, I could glue one right on here and have it as a pocket on the front or the back, and then glue something else over top of it. There's the coordinating napkins to go with the paper plate. So I'll definitely have to include that if I'm going to use this. And that's what I got to figure out, is how I'm going to use that disc. I think I want it here. So maybe I put I was thinking I could just use this as paper when I bought it, but it seems a shame not to use it as a pocket, but I don't want to cover those flowers. So maybe what I'll do is put just napkin down on here, something I don't mind covering. I'm going to use the Easter eggs. So right off the bat, you know it's an Easter journal. I'll figure out how to use these in a minute. Is that good coloring? Yeah, I think so. I like adding the blues and greens in there with the pinks, because there is some aqua in the bunny, which was my original inspiration for doing an Easter journal. Okay, I need a little bit of tape. So to get the white backing off of the napkin, if you're new to using napkins, you just grab a piece of Scotch tape, any kind of tape really, something sticky, could be a sticker that you're going to use, and just push it onto the backing and then pull, and you'll start to separate the two pieces. This is just a 2-ply. Sometimes there's a 3rd ply. You got to get all of them off, or else, unless you're just completely soaking it with glue. If you just use glue stick and glue it down when there's 2 layers, just the first layer will stick and then that second layer will just come off. So then you take your glue stick and really coat where you want the napkin. So I'm just going to go all over this bag bottom. And this is getting really thick, so it's good for a cover. I'm just going to put a bit of a chunk there. And then you just take your napkin and lay it into it. And then rather than cutting off where it's hanging off the edge, I'm going to get a damp paintbrush. So I've got some paintbrushes here and some water. The water that I have has some mica in it, but it won't matter. I just need the paintbrush wet. And then if you run that along where you want to tear the napkin, it'll tear where it's wet. And I'm going to go just on the edge of the instead of, because this is the opening, this side is the opening of the little pocket. So I'm going to back up where I rip my, getting a little bit of the paint with that. I like to leave this sitting open on my desk because I'm sure to spill it. And just continue to rip that, and then I'll put a piece of trim along this edge to tidy it up. And I might use more of this later, probably will, so I'm going to leave that out. But that gives me a nice little backdrop. It's a little bit squishy right now. But I can then put this up here so that this is not too tall. So if I put that about there, I'm going to want this kind of up here. And then I can do something along this edge to make it wider, like some trim. So I'll just see what I've got for fabrics and stuff. I do have some fabrics set aside for this project. Got pink and green. Actually, the green that I have, I do have some that's scalloped, so maybe I'll grab the scalloped piece. I've also got some white lace that's very pretty. It's almost too much, too big. And I've got this, which would look really pretty. You've got to kind of audition things to see what you like. And then this I got in a swap. It's multicolored. It might be something I could use in this journal too. And then the piece I'm looking for. This was the, this is cut off of a pillowcase, pillow sham. So I can use this to make the whole thing wider. To cover the, just so, I'm trying to avoid cutting down these papers. So I'm trying to make the paper bag bigger. I think I want to cut this off. Not cut it off though, I'll tear it off. I'll leave about a 1/2 inch beyond the seam, and I'll just tear it. And then I might have to grab my iron and iron this. I use a hair iron. I'm gonna fold this top over and glue it, and then back it too. Somehow I'm gonna grab my iron. I definitely need it. So it's just a miniature hair straightener. I got it sort of as an extra when I bought a hair straightener one time. Starts to heat up fairly quickly, and then I can get these wrinkles out. I'll start in a spot that's not too wrinkled and go out. I have a spritzer here too that I can use to use that to make it a little bit easier to get it flat. And I think I've got lavender essential oil in that water. It's gonna smell nice. Scented journals. The next big thing. I suppose if you have a journal with a bit of fabric, you can always refresh a scent. Well, that's looking better. It's still a little wet down at this end. You hear it sizzle? I don't know if you can hear that chainsaw running. Hubby's out there cutting some firewood. We still have another month or two of wood burning. In April, it's often quite damp, and we burn the fires just to keep it from feeling cold in here, just from the damp. Okay. This is pretty good. So I just need to get this top edge straightened up. So I'm going to snip and rip. Now, I would like that a little drier before I glue it down, but leave this thing plugged in case I forget it, so I'm going to unplug it. And then let's see. I think I'm going to glue it on the front, like from the front, like so. And I'm going to put it right on the edge because then that reaches over and covers everything. I'm going to nip this little bit off here. I wonder if I can get that to fray a little bit. Yep. I'd much rather have a frayed edge at the bottom than a straight cut edge. Just trying to get rid of all the little strings. Okay. So now I'm going to use the 3-in-1 glue so that it goes kind of quick. I'm going to put about a 1/2-inch squiggle right up the edge here. I'll just take my pages out so we don't get glue on them by mistake. Starting with that bottom edge that I just frayed, using the drier part of this fabric. And going all the way up to the top. Now I might want to go beyond the top because if I'm going to put this, I might want to go up to here. So I'm going to cut it off there. So this actually has a loose edge where you can see that seam. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that yet. I might just leave it, or this might end up going on there, or something like it, like another layer of something. This I'm not sure is the right color, but I've also got some chenille. And there's this, which I'm not sure that's the right color either, but it is awfully pretty. Anyway, we will cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I just want to get this looking kind of right. So I like the woodland animals idea. Frayed a little bit. Okay. And then I do like the idea of the 3D roses, but I don't know. I think I want something more blue-green coming in here somewhere, somehow. And one thing I do have as well is this mauve gingham napkin, which kind of picks up. Trying to decide what to do with this. I think I want to make it a little pocket in behind it. A little hidden spot that you could put a little round booklet or something. I want to cover this square edge up here. I could cut this off on an angle so it's not so square. Because then on the back side, we have that, which I could cover by just doing another one. I should certainly put something on the back side of this, like maybe some more of the napkins. Yeah, I'm just going to cover the back of that paper plate with more napkin. It's just easier to do the whole thing. So I'll just do the whole thing. And I probably shouldn't have done that right in the middle, wasting a lot, but then I'll just take this and go around the edge. Pull that away. I like the wispy edges, that doesn't bother me at all. Especially when it's already cut with the ripple scissors. Don't want any straight lines really. Okay, so now when I glue this down on the front, then you turn it over and you turn the page, cover, you've got that little bit of Easter egg poking out. And that can be a tuck spot in there. And probably for a round booklet is what I'll do. So let's glue this down, just very small amount of glue around that bottom edge, coming up to about here. So to the rose. Is here, around to here. Oh, where's my mark? There. So 3 in 1, mostly just because it dries quick. And then my booklet will need to be smaller. I've got some glue where I don't want it. And I've lost my cap for my 3 in 1, which is not good. I do not want to leave it uncapped. There it is. But I need to get that extra glue off from here up. There. Like that. And I think I'm going to cut this off. I wish I had sharper scissors to do it with. These ones might work better. There. It's not very pretty. So maybe a butterfly or a flat flower or something like that can go there. I don't think I want one of these there. It needs to be flatter so that it doesn't stop the book from closing. I've got some butterflies right here. Not really the right colors. just that that pearl is going to be too thick. I think I want something really pastel. Which box have I got here? Dragonflies. Dragonflies aren't really Eastery, are they? They're more middle of summery. Okay, so that, my signature will support it, because it's floppy, right? But my signature will support it somewhat. But I think I still want to put something behind it here to prevent that from being so floppy. So what will I use? Well, one of these would do some good. Not enough, though. I've got some strips here that I could add and then decorate. Or if I had some cardstock that was already pretty, I could use that. I know I've got some mauve. These strips, that's a bit dark, but that would work, and that gives sort of like a place to write. But is this, no, that's not the tuck spot. That's still a tuck spot, and that's still a tuck spot, but they're small. That one goes down in behind that plate. The tuck spot was over here, the long one. Yeah, that green is just too floppy. It needs something. I'm beginning to feel like everything that I'm filming today is not going to get used. I'm so indecisive. That's too close to the bag color. And I could cut something just to make, and like have it cantilevered over onto this page that follows these scallops. I keep wanting to reach for the cardstock that I have, but I just don't know if I want it so brown. Guess I could cover it with something. bring it out that far so I don't have to cut the scallops, because I'll never get them right. But I could, if this was longer maybe, so that it supports it all the way up. Start with a fresh page. And I just want it to come about an inch onto the pink. So about here. And let's mark that and cut it with some fancy scissors instead of using the trimmer. So to keep it straight, I'll mark how wide it is, 2.5. And I'll go up here and mark another 2.5. And I'll connect those 2 points just lightly. And then what have I got? I've got this really pretty scalloped scissors. Victorian, it's called. So I'm going to cut right along the line, lining up my pattern each time I move the scissors so that I can keep that looking continuous. You don't get a full length of the scissors every time that you cut, but that's okay. And then, what do I want to do at the bottom? I want flush at the bottom, and I want it to come up here. And I think I want to do something it's going to be way over here. If I need to put that somehow in and behind there. It's too late, that's already glued down. But maybe what I should do is, how am I going to, sorry folks, thinking out loud. I don't really want to see that. I'm going to glue that right down. And I'm going to just glue some other paper to it to make it just a little bit stiffer, and then create a pocket here. Because that'll give me some thickness there that I could put another tag in. But I think I still need something to make this firmer. What I'll do is grab that paper. Get some bright papers. Maybe that paper will be good. glue right to it and then cut around it. On the white side, you'll just see the white poking out beyond these scallops. So let's get it covered in glue. I should have done this first. And just the tacky glue just around the edge. I'm going to stick that edge right in underneath the pink paper bag. That. Glue it down. Tear off the excess. I'm just lining myself up with that seam. And that's going to give that just a bit of firmness. Not a lot. And then I'll take my ripple scissors, I think. What have I got here? I've got ripple, Victorian, zigzag. Maybe zigzag would be cute in this case. And just follow the scallops with a little zigzag action. And I might ink that in a colored ink, maybe? We'll see. I do like this paper with the wood background and the roses. And then I could bring this over the top and tuck it under like that, and that would finish the top edge. Although I did like seeing that frayed edge. So maybe I'll just go straight across there. And still put something here. Maybe that deer is craning her neck to smell this flower or to chew on it. That's pretty. And that looks best against the different colors. It was too much pink there, but it's looking nice there. So let's, I've got a little tab there. Do I want to use that for something? I'm gonna leave that off for now, but I do want to put something there and something down here. But that gives me a bit stronger piece there. And then if I do something like this, it's creating another little pocket there, which I may or may not be able to use. It's an awfully thick pocket. I think down here, I want this tidier, going straight. And I might end up with some sort of a trim all along the bottom edge too. Let's get this glued up. I feel like they're upside down, but they do go both directions, so I'm talking about the Easter eggs. Okay. I also have this pink gingham. Inside cover, back pocket, and back cover. So inside cover definitely gets one of these because it's the perfect size. It doesn't make sense not to use this. So I'm going to glue it down on 3 sides so that this is also a side tuck here. And that way when I put something, I'll make a big journaling card that goes in here and comes out, kind of giving this something to hold on to, something to lay against. So I'm going to do along the bottom and the long edge and across the top. And I'm going to do a double layer across the top here. And keep that over to the left so that I'm not interfering with where my signature wants to get sewn in. I might as well move this down too. So I'll put something in here, and it can be tall because it can go up in behind this, and then there'll be a circular notebook back in here. And then for the back cover, I need something to make it taller. If that's going to go in there, do I want just some lace here maybe? That might work. I've got that scallop showing there. And I don't know what paper I'm going to put on here yet. This is going to be quite chunky. I don't know if I'll be able to use the bag handle, but I think it's fine just leaving it on there. Maybe tie some charms onto it or something. Or it could come right off if it's kind of odd. That's much better now that it's firmed up with that glue drying. Just that one layer of paper on it is good. And I could do something around the bottom edge here too, just to pretty that up. I think I want to use another one of these. I just really like that pattern. Maybe what I'll do with this one, I could do a full height one, and then maybe in a different paper, I could layer another pocket in the front. I've got green gingham pockets and blue gingham pockets. No, that's too much plaid. And that's, I don't know if I like that either. Maybe some of this mauve just as a that could be the smallest pocket. And then if I had another one that came up about here, that would probably make me happy. What color though? I've got a real kind of spring green in that plaid. I don't really collect a lot of green paper. I think I need to do a little bit more green paper because it goes with all the florals. Maybe that plaid bag repeating is not the right thing. Maybe these things would be better. So there I've got willow and that's part of a kitchen themed thing. I think I'm going to save it for that because it's not quite right for this. See if I've got, I'm sorry, I'm really muttering a lot, aren't I? Maybe just repeat the first things. Let's do the back to match the front. Yeah, let's start with that while I can think. I've got enough of this to do this. Yep. Let's do that. While my brain works on the rest of it. I've only had almost a whole year to do this. And my brain has been working on it, but not really, just kind of in the background. Behind all the other stuff that's been going on in my brain. The straight edge along the spine because it's probably going to get covered anyway. Some wrinkles there. And I'm going to get my signature out of the way so it doesn't get wet. Tear that off. And then each end, I'm just spraying my paintbrush. Okay, that's my back cover, the same as my front cover. And then when I sew my signature in, I'll probably put some trim up this spine. Actually, I said I wasn't going to do that because of this little pocket that I left. So if I do anything, maybe on the back, poking out here, would maybe look pretty. And it probably should be white lace. I don't have a lot of white lace. I've got mostly beige lace. And this probably, in my mind, should be inked. Although nothing's inked yet on this, so maybe I'll just hold off on the inking. It's this back cover now. It's got the pocket. I almost want to make another little book to put in there. And I might do that. I might just make a little mini book to put in there. Make something for in this pocket. Maybe I will try adding another tuck spot onto this one, because this matches pretty good. That second pass is really just spreading the glue, not adding more glue. If you were wondering why I'm adding so much glue. Just kind of spreading it around. So here we have a pocket in here, and a pocket here. Once it's all glued down. And then this is where my signature will be going in. It's this back page. Maybe I'll put the deer napkin back here. I also have this one, which kind of goes nicely with it, doesn't it? I'll be able to use that. So far, the Easter eggs is the only Eastery thing, but I've got the Easter bunny in the signature. Maybe I need another Easter bunny. No, because I've got an Easter bunny front and back. So that's going to be there. Save that for a different project. Can't use everything on every project. I sometimes try to do that. I think I'm going to use this page for the back here because it'll relate well when the book is open. It'll relate well to this, and I'm going to use it going in the opposite direction so I don't have to worry about it being lined up. And I'm going to just... Actually, I think I'm going to use the zigzag scissors again. I'm going to follow that seam up. And then I'm gonna, I guess it wouldn't hurt to glue that right over to the bag. It'll reinforce everything. And glue that right to the edge. I'll just take another little, across the top here. Probably not straight. And across the bottom. Need a little bit more off of it, so I'm going to take that gray edge away. And then I need to cut it about here. Giving me just a little pink edge everywhere here. And I don't think I want this to be a pocket, because I've already got this great big pocket. This is going to be kind of good for reinforcing this, and then that's reinforced a little bit with the napkin on the back. So this is just going to be glued down. Not worried about the straight edge in the center because you won't see that. Right around the edge so it doesn't try to lift. And just for an extra little bit of reinforcement, a good even but light coat everywhere. And that should also help me position it because it'll allow it to slide around a little bit. now that's got a bit more substance. And when this is open, you see the wood grain here and here. And then up here, just a little bit of white lace, I think, is all I want. And this has to open, so I could glue it in here so that it sticks out and you don't see the edge of it anywhere. I think that's too ruffly for me. Although that kind of curved top that it gives is kind of good. Let's see here. I stick that in there and glue it down. I can certainly prevent that from sticking up. Maybe that wider piece that I rejected earlier. But it would need to be backed with something so that it's stiffer, I think. How far down in there will it go? I can control that pretty much. And then that, and then that, and then you're still going to see, that's the problem there, is I don't like the way that finishes off. I would want it maybe coming up, which I can do. Like that. That's really pretty. I just gotta figure out how to deal with this edge. I could just fold it over and glue it, but you're gonna see it from one side or the other. Maybe if I fold this way in like that, actually that's what I could do. I could double this right up and then glue it, and then it'll be more rigid. Could even put paper in there. And then that way I can kind of give myself a finished edge there. And then about here, I'd do the same thing. End it right there. Seems silly to use twice as much as I need, but I think that's the answer, to give it a little bit of strength. And then wherever I decide to cut it off, I can glue both ends in. I need to glue right here. So that I can stop the lace. And then this is a tuck spot here, a really short one. And then that bigger one in behind the circle. And I'll probably have a tuck spot on here too. I just don't know what yet. It might be another piece of paper plate as a quarter circle or something. Down here maybe. Oh, that's not sticking. That should be stuck by now. And it really discolored that paper. Look at that. That's strange. Just gonna clamp that for a minute. Okay, so let's get this It's way wider than it needs to be. I don't want to waste it. I like using the glue stick as at least one layer of the glue because it's easy to get it spread everywhere. And then I'll just line these up. So that can go way down in that corner. I want it just above the height of the circle so that it, comes up behind it like that with a nice finished edge along there. And then I think I'm just going to fold this back in. So I'm going to cut it off right there. Glue both of these to the inside. Like so. It makes that edge a little bit thick, but I'm okay with it. It'll also make it nice and stiff so that it'll stay straight. And I take this. Oh, got that way too wide? I think I do have that way too wide. Kind of works though. That means I gotta put something else back here, which kind of makes sense in a way. So I'll have to attach it to here, whatever it's gonna be. If I want this like that, then I need something to support here. And it could be I don't think I want it here. I think I want it on the very back with this back flap. So what do I want that to be? Another one of these scallops? Something cut in that same scallop? I've ruined my nail polish with that glue. Definitely do want that there. And then there'll be something there covering that joint, probably a flower. We definitely need something here. I have this. Just don't know if that's too brown. It's nice and firm. I'll leave it back behind those scallops, and I'll leave it down below these scallops. Just round that corner if I can. So around this one too. There. But maybe what I'll do is I'll cover this in, I can't really, well, I could use this. Have the scallop design again. But is that what I want to do? Got this mauve. I think I'm kind of wanting some blue back here. Maybe this. Nope. Maybe this. I like this one, but I don't think it's the right color. I could use this paper. Remember, this is the back of the back cover. I don't usually put like pockets or tuck spots on the back. Just the brown isn't thrilling me, I think. I need it to be cardstock, but I'm not crazy about the brown. So maybe I cut more of this to cover that with. So maybe if I glue that right on. Covering most of the brown, if not all of the brown. Because that color will look good. That's going to show on the inside though. Which is okay for some reason. Oh my goodness. I think I better go back to bed. Let me try covering this with the blue paper. this off. Flush. And I'm just deciding what to do with the rest of that because of that edge. I don't think I can really replicate that. I suppose technically I can. Would have been better maybe if I cut this and then lined it up. I'm not getting it exact. But with a little ink, that might be fine. A wrinkle there. That's where it was folded. I just need this bottom edge rounded. And then this goes like this. Kind of there. It still makes this a little long. I almost need it. Well, maybe I can, when I glue it in, maybe I can control that a little bit. This, well, this is going to be covered by a flower or something. That might just be a little tall. Cut that off. Also with the ripples. Fairly square so that I can still round that corner. Like so. I think I do want to fix this. These in just a little more. Maybe go to having a half. Like that. Stuff isn't drying as fast as I thought it would. This is going to be glued down in here, and I still don't know why that isn't sticking. Maybe I'll put that edge in. And then like this, what I was thinking. That'll definitely need to be inked so that that white line disappears. I'm feeling like I'm getting on a roll, so I imagine hubby will be in any minute to interrupt me and want lunch. How it usually goes. He does try not to interrupt, but if he's done what he's doing and he wants his lunch, I'm going to stop and get him his lunch. This could actually be a bit of a tuck spot on the back page. If I just glue it 3 sides, it's going to support up here a little bit. I was thinking it would go back here, but yeah, I was thinking it would go back here. And then it could still be a tuck spot here. And that way it's really supporting that. I can glue it right down to it. And then on the inside here, I could do more napkin. Maybe what I'll do, I've got little scraps of napkin left. Let's just glue them down. To the end of my glue stick. This is using up every little bit of it, isn't it? It's good. Sticking to my fingers. Okay, glue stick time. Sometimes I save those, and I have a little tin that I put, like I dug the glue out of the bottom and put it in a tin. I should really retrieve that and do more of that. There. This is a little bit collagey, but I'm good with it. I'm going to leave that little bit of just tear that off. Cut it along this back edge. Okay, so then where did I decide this was going? Here. Go this way. Actually, if I do it this way, you won't see those brown spots. It's not really going to be a tuck spot. It's just extending the bag for me, and I might need to do something thicker. Anyway, let's glue this down. I put lots of glue. Having to re-glue the edge of my napkin first. Glue this down and clamp it. Like this. I don't know if I can clamp it. I might have to weight it. I need to come over a bit. There. I don't really want this to be an opening. It's not a big enough overlap. It's only an inch. I'll come back later and put more glue in there. So that's our cover pretty much figured out. And then the next step I think that I will do is glue, sewing in my signature. And then I'll start decorating some of the pages in the signature. And then probably come back, make some tags and tuck things to tuck in the pockets. Maybe another little notebook for in here and a notebook for there. So this might be like a 6-video series. A little bit of a slow start, but I think my mind's getting to where I know what I'm doing. Glue this down. I used some things that I didn't expect to use, which is kind of fun. I think that's going to stick. I just need some weight on it. So I will give that some weight, maybe take a little break and get some lunch, and then come back and do some more on this afternoon. I'm liking how it's coming together. So if you like seeing these kind of impromptu crafting sessions where I make it up as I go along, as more so than a tutorial style, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you like or don't like about what I did so far. Tell me the obvious blaring thing that you think I missed. And we'll meet back here to finish it up. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy crafting.